Hi everyone, and in today's video, we're going to be turning this object into a house. Let's get to it. I knew from the start that the flowers on top of the pot weren't exactly going to look exact. Unlike all my other ones, like that look identical to the object, like I'm telling you, and the food identical. This one, not a crazy amount identical, but I feel like if you put them together, like, oh yeah, that looks like that. The flowers just look a little bit different, but honestly, for 3 hours, I took 3 hours to make this, and building the flowers was actually the most time-consuming part, obviously. But honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself. I feel like it looks really good and pretty accurate. I could have spent like 3 hours on the flowers alone, but that would have been a little bit ridiculous. So I feel like an hour and 30 minutes, which is what I spent on it, was pretty good time. And I messed around with this for a while because at first I made this stem way too thin and it just looked silly, a little tiny flower on there, and there are only 4 flowers and some leaves, so I did have to end up making the stem thicker and kind of get smaller as it goes up and curves around. So yeah, but the flowers ended up staying the same. I just made some of them with stubbier petals and then some of them with longer petals, and I feel like that was nice. I had to add kind of smaller basic shape and then a bigger one. That way I could have the color gradient in there, because the colors on the flowers I think are still kind of like the outdated colors that we kind of used to have, where they're just kind of weirdly shaded and it doesn't look right in my opinion. It just doesn't look, I don't know how long we've had these flowers in the game, but I don't think they've ever been updated, so they might need a little updating because I was having some struggles with just the shading because the flower is darker in the center and then it goes out and gets lighter. So yeah, we worked with what we had, and honestly, I think that's probably the biggest thing that doesn't look identical to it is just like the coloring of it. The colors are a little bit brighter, but I was okay with that because honestly it still looks very similar. I also started out with a much bigger base for the pot, and then I ended up making it a lot smaller because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to make these flowers gigantic for this to even look right, and I still ended up making them gigantic. They just were on a smaller pot, and so the house was gonna end up being 3 by 3 and like it was slanted on some of them, so it wasn't even a full 3 by 3. So I just went ahead and made a basement because I have made small houses before, but it was getting a little bit ridiculous with the boba house, I will say. It was so small. So I was like, you know what? I'll just use the basement. You can't even see it. And it worked perfectly fine. So yeah, that's what we did for this space that we had, and I'm probably just gonna have to start doing that more in the future. But this build was such a breeze because I don't know, I guess I really like the builds where it's so random, and I would have never done it on my own if I hadn't have started this series on my channel. If you don't know, I've actually made a book house, a popcorn house, a boba house, and now this flower pot. I will put like the pictures and everything up on screen. Those ones look identical, and honestly this one does too. It's just the coloring was a little bit off. Unlike the other ones, what I try to do for the coloring is make it identical to the already pre-colored object or food, and I don't like color the object because then it wouldn't be as recognizable, and I want you guys to be able to recognize it on the thumbnail. So yeah, I love this build though. I love the interior. It's super cute, super summery, super almost springy. I don't know. I think my summer and my spring colors just mesh into one, and it's basically all just spring throughout summer. Throughout this whole entire 3 hours, what I basically did was I did listen to some music. Forrest Frank just put out 2 new songs, and one of them is God's Got My Back, and then the other one is Lemonade. I love them both, but I've been listening to Lemonade a lot more since it's the most recent one, and I love it so much. I haven't quite figured out a way to make a short on it because I'm still thinking about it, but I do want to use that song in a short. It will be used eventually. I'm definitely gonna be using that in my shorts, so you guys will see that or you have already seen it, because I'm actually doing a really good job of making my videos and stacking them. So I have videos, when one video is already posted, I already have one edited on the day that it was posted. So like I already have one ready for next Friday when a video was already posted on that Friday, if that makes sense. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm getting very good at it for now. But then again, school hasn't started yet for me at the time that I'm making this. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see as we go. And then I was also listening to this audiobook. It's by Rachel Decker. I've been reading her, this is the second book, but it's called The Calling, and then there's another one, the first one, and I can't remember the name of that one, and then there's another one, so I've been reading those. But she has like a I guess a kid's book. It's about like a 12-year-old girl, and I've just been listening to that. She's a Christian author, so it's like, I feel like it's so difficult to find books that are like, they actually don't have bad stuff in them. Like, I'll look up a book and I'll be like, okay, like, does it have this or that in it? Then it'll say, no, it doesn't. And then I start reading it and it has just the precise stuff. Or I go into, because I'll use ChatGPT and I'll also use Google, and they'll say opposite stuff about it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna even read it, because like, what's the point? On my Kindle, and then I'll have Audible. So I'll be reading it and then also listening to it while I read. And I'll follow along like that, and that's how I read. I don't want to like purchase the book if it's actually not even good, so that's really annoying. But you know what, it's okay, it's fine. But I was listening to her, I guess it's a kid book because it's about a 12-year-old girl, and it's really good. It's actually really good. It's basically about this girl who is basically kind of orphaned, and she goes and lives with her aunt because apparently her mom and her dad, I think, are both dead. She lives with her aunt and her uncle, I guess. They basically don't like her, and the aunt basically just thinks that being cruel to her is the way to make her not like her mother. Then one day, I think it's on her birthday, she had, it's almost like Cinderella at the start. On her birthday, she had to clean basically the whole entire house, like spotless, okay? And she didn't do it right, and so then she got punished basically, and then she met this old lady's basically like, come with me. So then she does, and she goes to this pond and ends up going in the pond and going to another world. And basically in that world, there is, it's a school, or like, I guess you could call it like a summer camp, but it's really not a summer camp. It's like it is a camp. And basically the kids are there's lots of kids there, and they've all been brought there because they have gifts. And so then they're going to be kind of learning how to like control those gifts, and if they want to leave, they can leave and all that stuff. It's like a really good, normally in like Christian books, they don't actually like they do have a figure in the book that is like Jesus or God, and that's kind of like they don't call it normally that. In this book, it's called The Great Teacher, which Jesus, God, is the great teacher, and that just makes sense, but that's what they call him in the book. And honestly, like, it's just so good. And basically this girl it seems as if she's kind of different than everybody else, but all the kids basically kind of have like a hard like past, and you don't fully know about that until like the second book. And I think I just started the third book. It's a trilogy, and it all came in one audiobook, so I was like, sweet, great. So yeah, I've just been listening to that, and it's pretty good. I feel like it's really good. They go through these challenges to like get their gifts, and a lot of them have already gotten hers. She hasn't fully understood hers yet. I don't want to tell you the whole thing, but yeah, that's basically what it is. It's really good. I'm honestly gonna be sad when I finish it, because then I have to find another book, and books are really hard to find. So yeah, but it's been really nice to just listen to it. I've been able to get so much building done, because like, it's nice to listen to music, but also it's almost like sometimes when you're building something that you just are like almost done building and you just don't want to do it. I feel like the easiest way for me to do that is listen to an audiobook and then just grind it out. Like, I am definitely on auto. When I just start building, I can just do it and like not even have to think. So that's why I like to listen to the book. I don't really have to, I kind of just do it like automatically. I can just whip up something, but it's like annoying for me. So an audiobook is really, really nice to listen to. So that's what I've been listening to, and I hope I find another one like that. It's such a good book. I feel like it's also such a good book because in The Thing, basically the little girl, she feels unloved because, well, she basically never knew her parents, and she has this aunt who's so cruel to her, yet the aunt thinks that she's doing right or whatever, but she has this aunt who's so cruel to her. And so when she goes to this camp, she brings those feelings with her, but she doesn't remember anything about that. That's what happens when you go to the camp. You don't remember anything until you don't remember anything. Yeah. So she brings that with her to the camp, this feeling of just being basically lonely and unloved. And obviously, you're never alone. Jesus is always with you. Whenever you think he's not, he is. So he's absolutely always with you. So that kind of in the book, and also her just constantly, like, it shows like how quick we forget how much Jesus loves you, like, and how much God loves you. Like, it also shows that how quickly we forget, and how quickly we forget that we think that we're alone when we're never alone. And we're always loved by him. So I feel like it was just a really good story, and it's a really good like matching of them, if that makes sense. Like, it's a really good representation of Jesus and his love and how you're never alone. And I just feel like it's such a good book. So I definitely recommend it. Even if you're older, like, this is kind of like a kid's book, and I love it. It's really good. So I recommend it. Anyways, guys, now we're moving on to the interior. And honestly, interior turned out really cute. I feel like I've just been copy and pasting my interiors for every single build ever since my farm build. So they've just like looked all the same, but it'll change once fall hits. And then I did the basement for the bedroom, and the bedroom actually looks really good. So I kind of mixed the living room, bedroom, entry area all in one downstairs, and then I also put a bathroom, and I feel like it looks really, really good. The bed looks super cozy. I would love to sleep in that bed, but that's basically it for that. For the interior, I mean, honestly, pretty simple. I was looking at my YouTube studio because, okay, so in the YouTube studio, if you're not familiar with it, which most of you probably aren't unless you do have a YouTube channel, basically you can go in here and you can look at all your analytics, and there's certain stuff that you can see about your audience. And so for instance, I know that most of you guys are watching on mobile, and so like most of you guys are watching on mobile, and then also on a tablet, which I guess you guys, mobile means phone. Yeah, most of you guys are watching on a phone, and then also a tablet, and then a TV, and the least one is a computer, which I watch mostly all YouTube videos on my computer or my tablet. I don't even watch them on my TV. And then for like ages, there's definitely a variety of ages, but I'm just gonna hope that none of you guys are creeps and you're using your parents' account. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for. And then I know that 44.9% of you guys are males, and then 55.1% are females. And then like I know where you guys are from. So I know that 48.7% of you guys are in the United States, 4% are in the United Kingdom, and 2.4% are in Canada. There was also Philippines once, but it kind of varies. It'll like show up every once in a while. And guys, I also know that 79.8% of you guys are not subscribed and you watch my videos. Please subscribe. It helps out a lot. And please, like the video, watch the video fully. That helps out so much. Okay, and then subscribed 20.1, which I feel like is decent. I've seen like other people's times where they brought that up and it's like 99% aren't subscribed. I was like, oh, wow. And then I also wanted to show you guys one of my very interesting analytics that I get every single week. Every single week this pops up. So for instance, I get a weekly recap every single week. And every single week it shows me searches that led people to my channel. Every single week, the top search is how to get a car in Bloxburg. Normally there's 2 searches, but this week about cars, but this week there were 3 searches about cars. So 1, there's how to get car in Bloxburg. 2, there is how do you get a car in Bloxburg, and 3, how to buy a car in Bloxburg. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah. So I actually did create a short on how to buy or get a car in Bloxburg. I did all the ways on how to get one, and it is the short that actually gets the most consistent amount of views out of all my shorts. I don't think a single other short gets as many views, and it's an evergreen short, which means that like an evergreen tree, it lives throughout all seasons of the year, and that's the same with the short. It lives throughout all seasons of the year, and that's how they come to my channel, is through that short. That's like the most searched thing that lead them to my channel. So that's pretty cool, I feel like. And it was posted 2 months ago and has almost 5,000 views, and it's still consistently getting views, which is pretty crazy. Even though my goal is not to hit the shorts views goal, which is 10 million shorts views every 90 days, which is kind of scary, but my other one, which is 4,000 watch hours every 365 days, seems a lot more doable. And okay, so if you're not familiar with YouTube Studio, which you wouldn't be if you don't have a YouTube channel, basically you have to 3 things. 1, you have to upload 3 videos every 90 days. Okay. The next one is that you have to have 1,000 subscribers. The next one is that you have to have 4,000 watch hours every 365 days. So I have 2 of those, and I literally, all we're waiting on now is my 4,000 watch hours, which is pretty crazy. I'm a little bit more than halfway there, but I'm not sure where the year ends. So if it ends during December or if it ends in March when I started my YouTube channel. So I'm not very sure about that. But yeah, so now you know. The longer you watch a video, that goes towards watch hours, which in turn helps the creator that you're watching achieve the goal and get monetized. So yeah, that's kind of my analytics. I love looking at that every once in a while because it kind of takes a little while for it to like update. So yeah, but that's basically it for this little voiceover. I did make a community post on my YouTube, and you guys said that you like a mix of random talk and build talk, so I tried my best to mix that in, and I used ChatGPT for that, and I just had it like mix them basically, that way I can do outline stuff, because if I didn't, I would just get so sidetracked, guys. So sidetracked, it'd be so bad. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the tour. Okay guys, let's do a tour. So first off, look at this flower pot house. Okay, like yes, it doesn't look identical, but it sure does look very good. So we have like kind of different flowers. So I have one that has kind of longer petals, and then one that has more like stubbier ones, and then their stems vary in sizes. So I just actually love it so much. Then we also have some leaves, and I tried to kind of make the pot look pretty similar to this. I feel like it really does, honestly. I feel like it looks so good. I'm very proud of this. So there is that. I feel like it just looks so good. But walking up, we have like a really, I wanted to kind of go with like the kind of pastel, almost spring, you know, color scheme, kind of just the colors of like these flowers throughout the gardening, at least, to kind of match the flowers on top. So we did some flowers and some trees, and we also did this little thing for like a car. Since all the other ones basically had that except for the boba, I was like, we should probably do one. So that's what I did, and it looks so good. And then when I also did this little, I actually didn't even put anything on the porch, but whatever. I must have been like, I'm done. I did this, I don't even know what it's called, but you can kind of see it like underneath the porches and stuff. I'll put a picture up on screen of what that might look like. I just did it from like memory of seeing something like that, so I don't know if it's exact, but close enough. So going inside, I use this new porch door. Love it. The kitchen turned out so adorable, super cutesy. I feel like it just turned out so cute. So we have all the essentials in here, cute little sink, and then this down, you're like, oh my gosh, you literally only have room for a kitchen. No, we're gonna open this up. This has the rest of the house down here, so let's go down. So Oh gosh, do not look at the ceiling. We have this really cute bed. I love how the bed turned out. It looks so cute. We also have kind of like an entryway area type thing because we just didn't have enough room up there, and I was just like, you know what, it's okay, we'll just put some down here, that's okay. And then we have kind of sort of a living room piece that you'd put in a living room. We have a little couch, and then we have some storage right here. We got some boxes and a nightstand, of course. Going over here, we have the bathroom. This bathroom is so incredibly simple, but there that is. Very nice. This is probably, I mean, it looks like a really tiny house from the exterior, but it actually has a good amount of space. So oh, okay. But yeah, that's it. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them, and what object or like food you want me to do next, because food is probably next on the list because we have 2 foods and then 2 objects. So I think I want to do another food. So put it in the comments what you think you want to see next, and I will see you guys next week. Bye everyone, have a blessed day.